Hi, we're the Brights coming to you live.
What's up, our quarantined amigos? That's just so weird to say.
It is so weird.
Living the quarantine life.
Living my best life yet.
Right.
So we decided since we're home too, and I hate to say quarantine, but since we're home and
Sequestered,
that's probably a better word. And I hate to say stuck at home, but
I see everybody riding their bikes and everything over there. I'm gonna start shooting people with the BB gun.
Why would you say that? What does that mean?
I'm kidding. Huh?
It's weird.
Make them go home.
Oh
We're supposed to be
God.
home.
Oh,
We all have to do our part.
Now I see. Like sometimes you say such random things, and I have no idea
It's my
what that
ADD.
even meant. I was like, okay, people are gonna be watching that, going, "Wow." Now I get it because you said they need to be home. Okay.
And if y'all see me out, shoot me with the BB gun.
So we're actually going to make some videos tonight, and we were going to just do videos and kind of go through some of the videos we did at the very beginning that we don't like to watch because we just didn't know what we were doing, and they were cringeworthy, as I say. So we thought we'd go back and we were going to redo our love languages. But then I told Richard I felt like it was weird to do the love languages right now because we couldn't really do typical love languages because you can't maybe go buy gifts and you can't maybe go out to dinner and do quality time. So we said, what about the love languages
Quarantine style.
Corona style.
Instead of gangrene style.
That could be a whole new thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Making the time go by. How much time is going by? Oh, 20 seconds.
We're letting people get on. So we were thinking about, like, what does that look like? What does that look like doing the love language? Are you speaking your spouse's love language right now, being that you're home together and it might not look like it typically looks? How can we, in marriage we have we have different seasons and different things happen, and definitely not a season any of us were thinking of right now that we were going to be going through. But, how do we deal with it right now with marriage? Hey. So, Katisa, right? So I see you always on there, and you're always commenting, and it's so great that you're actually on here live.
Give a
That's
shout
great.
out to Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan. We love Michigan. So we were talking about the Corona style, love languages Corona style. What does that look like? So Richard wanted to start out with the one that everybody seems to...
Quality time. You've been praying. I was praying for quality time.
With my
Now,
spouse.
how do we deal with it now that we got it?
Yeah. So what do we do now with that quality time? How do we have quality time if we're in the same house together? And I don't want to say stuck, but we're cooped up together in the house with each other. And
Stuck sounds so bad.
Stuck sounds horrible.
Like we're stuck with each other.
I do feel like we're
How's
stuck
your
in
marriage?
the house, but not stuck. But I don't feel like we're stuck with each other. I just feel like we're stuck in the house, with things. So if your love language is quality time, or let's say if any of your languages, I don't know if you know what your love languages are, but if your love language is quality time, one of the perfect things to do is to go take the quiz. There's a free quiz online for the 5 love languages. If you don't know what your love language is, that's a perfect quality time deal.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's a perfect quality time thing to do.
And it'll
Hey,
make
what's up,
30
David?
minutes go by.
Yeah.
Yes. I just see people walking and running and jogging.
You
This
are
is
so
great.
ADD. You're not even supposed to be looking out that way. So I got some weird hair going, y'all. Sorry, I can't. Let's see. I'm gonna.
Me and you both. It's
Yeah.
weird hair.
So quality time. So take the love languages test and find out what is your love language. And like we said, you might have been praying for quality time. Now you have it. Now you're not sure what to do with it. How do we do quality time if we're not supposed to really be going anywhere? We can't go and do anything social. So there are lots of things that we were thinking of quality time of what you could do. One of them is go on a picnic. It could be in your backyard. It could just be in your backyard.
Porta Backyarda.
Yeah, Puerto Backyarda. That's where we're going this weekend. Having that, maybe doing a picnic, maybe going on a walk where you just go, we never really did a lot of outside. Richard likes to be outside a lot, but we never really have done a lot of outside activities. We've done fishing, and there's a little bio right here. He just went in. What did you do there?
I was going to go, and I drove down there, and it was so windy, I didn't feel like fly fishing.
But you were going to just kind of go down there and do that. But, something you could do even maybe together. I know some of our friends went this weekend, just got and did a car ride and went to where there was the bluebonnets were. So they weren't around other people, but they just got out in nature and just did something together. We went and made some deliveries to people this week, and it just felt good to be in the car and to be in the car together, like that was, we did some deliveries separate, but some of the time we were in the car together felt really good to just be like normal. Like backing out of our driveway was so weird because we haven't backed out of our driveway together in so long. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. Quality time, maybe have a date night at home, maybe a movie night, you know, it might be a family night because you have little kids, you could watch movies. Maybe once the kids go to sleep, you can watch, you know, a movie that's not rated G, you know, maybe you could watch a PG movie. But maybe have a date night at home, a movie night. Take the Enneagram.
That's right. I'm a 7 with a wing 8.
Yes, and I'm a 3 with a wing 4. And if you don't know what your Enneagram, it's a really interesting. Make sure you go to the Enneagram Institute and take that. It's $12, but it's the best $12 ever that you'll spend. You find out what the emotional health of each other is, and it's a really good way to
Crazy
learn.
accurate. Crazy accurate.
And it's really makes some great conversation for that quality time.
Ooh,
to
that's
be able
good.
to talk.
Good way to bring it back, man.
To be able to talk about what makes your spouse tick and why are they that way, and it made us understand each other so much more the more that we learn about it. You know, talk to your spouse. What does quality time look like to them right now? Quality time right now for them might be some alone time. You know, it might not even just be just with you. It might be give them some time.
I'm going to the living room. You go to the dining room.
You know, we're fortunate right now because we're in a season where we're empty nesters, so we don't have to worry about the kids and the kids are driving us crazy. But if our kids were home right now, I know it'd be like, okay, you need to take some time with the kids. I need to take some time with the kids.
Yeah.
We need to have. You might have to be. We need our private time. We need time to be able to pray. We need time to be able to meditate or whatever it is that you do that you need just need to have that one-on-one time right now. And that quality time might be the best time. It's okay for us to be in the same house and to not be in each other's grill the whole time. I mean, I think we've done really good about that.
I had quality time with my kids. I was telling them I spent hours and hours on the phone with them the other day, telling them how I'm not going to give them any money. Because
how they should have saved money and how they should have had an emergency fund. And,
oh man, it's just perfect.
Like, way to go,
I know Jesus doesn't do that to people, but man, it's like.
And then I have to take then I have to call back, and I have to take the text message and send better messages that says.
You know what? I have told my kids for 15, 20 years, man, get $1,000 emergency fund, and then after that, then get 1 month worth of bills.
Okay, so this leads me into
right?
if you're doing this with your spouse.
Get 2 months.
If
and
you're
then
leaving
get 3 months.
If you're doing this with your spouse, he's talking about with the kids. But if you're doing this with your spouse right now, and somebody's upset with the other one because this is what you've talked about, and we should have done this, and we didn't do it, and look where we are right now, it doesn't do any good. Not going to make any difference.
Right.
It is what it is, and now we have to move forward. But the blame game right now, it's not going to help anybody. Like she was just saying that you know, cooking a meal together, we've done that a little bit lately, and Rich has been cooking a lot of meals for us.
I can't. I'm like
become like the chef.
The keto ninja, man. That's going to be my new handle on YouTube because I'm just putting together so many different recipes, and some of them are like boom, and some of them are like wah wah wah. But I haven't had too many wah wah wahs. But I just made a cheesecake, a key lime cheesecake.
Yes, I haven't even eaten it yet.
It's like this thick.
So
it's
good.
Oh my
goodness. So maybe cook some meals together. Maybe have that where you do something different. Have that quality time together. Maybe have just coffee in the morning. You know, for us, our favorite time this morning, especially now because we're not getting up as quick as normally we do, but we literally woke up at 6:30. We usually used to wake up earlier than that, but we woke up at 6:30, and at 8:45, we were still laying in the bed talking. Like we were still talking about.
And she was praying, and I wasn't all antsy like
usual.
Like, okay, gotta go. And so today I was just like, is that it? You don't want to pray some more? You can. We got no place to go.
And we talked about some heavy stuff, something that had just been,
my gosh.
They talk, sometimes we've heard it in the pre-marriage class about talking about withholds. You know, what is something that maybe you withheld this week that you couldn't talk about right then because maybe it was touchy, maybe some of the people were around, maybe your kids, but sometimes something bothered you, or maybe there's sometimes something will bother me, but I know that it's just not the right moment to bring it up, but I don't just sweep it under the rug. I just wait until a time that's just better, you know, that I know that can be received better. And just laying there this morning was a great time. And they were little things, just little things though, but but it's so easy to just let those little things and not talk about them.
It had happened in our
them.
past, back in our past, and she just wanted to revisit it to make sure that.
Well, I had a trigger about something, so
that we were okay with it. And back in the day, I would just try to. Why are you bringing it up? We talked about it. It's over. Let's move on. But you know what? If I was the one that caused it, then man, I'm the one that has to be able to say, well, you know what? If you don't feel comfortable about something, you need to be able to talk about it. You need to be able to bring it to me. And there is nothing that's off limits. So whatever you got to say it. And so she talked to me about it, and I saw where she was coming from. But man, I had no clue. It's a long story, but. I was clueless, and I was like, wow, I didn't even think about that. She goes, I could tell when I asked you the other day, you were clueless about it. And anyways.
Yeah, and so, but it was just, I don't know, it's just nice to be able to talk about things right now and communicate about things that maybe sometimes we're in a big hurry and we just seem to put them off. But right now, quality time, if that's one of your love languages, we need to be creative with quality time right now. There's all kinds of things we can do together. I saw someone had put a message on here, and I wanted to go back to it. It says, we are social distancing even at home because both of us are essential workers and have to go out, but the kids have to stay home. Wow, I never even thought about that aspect of it. If both of you are having to be out, there's some tricky times right now. There's some times
it's changing the family dynamic. It's one thing to be on vacation for a week and to be with your kids every day, but when you have to go on and on and on and on, and all of a sudden paychecks are getting cut, or hours are getting cut, or jobs are getting cut completely, and there's still bills to pay, and we've got to go forward.
Which is a good point.
Yeah. I mean, going forward, we have to have so much grace with each other. I mean, because it's so easy to be angry right now. This has nothing to do with the love languages, but
what you were just saying about the finances kind of leads us into one of the other love languages, which is gifts. And I was thinking, how do people, if love language is your gifts, is your love language, what does that look like right now? Like, you might not be able to go buy some of the stuff. You might be watching your money. I know we're trying not to spend unnecessary things that we don't need to spend. What does that look like for someone whose love language is gifts? So maybe it's picking some flowers outside, and bringing
out of your neighbor's
flowers.
yard. Gotta save money. Go pick your neighbor's flowers.
Richard went to the grocery store the other day, got a couple things that we needed, and brought back some flowers. And there's slim pickings on flowers. They're looking kind of sad, but you know what? I'm so thankful to have them and to be able to put them in a vase and look at them. Just that's something that simple. And love language is not even my gifts. Is not my love language. Not your love language either. But maybe something on Amazon. Maybe something that's affordable. Maybe a book they've been wanting to read, or some music that they've been wanting to download. Maybe dinner out at their favorite restaurant. You go and pick it up or have it delivered. Something like that. Favorite candy or snack. She said yes. There are little things, but we just need to communicate about that. What does that look like to your spouse? What you might be trying to do something that you think is showing your love, and they're not feeling loved at all. Richard's been making all these different things, and he made me some snickerdoodles and some cheesecake, and I mean, love language is not gifts, but I will take those gifts.
We have been, that just is another, I am about to go off on what we have been sold on as a bill of goods of all the crud they sell you at the grocery store, and we just eat it thinking, well, this is what it is, and it's so bad for us. All that processed, and you hear, processed. I had made some delicious cheesecakes, brownies, cookies, Reese's peanut butter cups, but with real chocolate, real peanut butter, pizza,
tortillas,
tortillas,
I mean,
enchiladas,
really, really low in carbs,
and delicious. And I'm still losing weight, and I'm eating healthy, and I've never been more energized in my life. So we have been lied to as a society, and man, it's time to take our lives back. So man, why not use this time to eat good?
That's good. That's good. Which leads me into the next one, which is acts of service. Acts of service right now. Maybe the roles have to change a little bit. We have to each be pitching in and doing some things that we might not normally be doing. Our friend Thad said on Sunday, time guys to put the apron on. If you're the guy that's not been the cook at all, learn some things. We have YouTube. You can learn how to change your disposal. Like, you can learn how to cook keto bread. Like, right. There is YouTube. There's something for everyone.
I just made a new keto bread today that was It was it's
No,
kind
I'm
of
still-
liquidy, and oh my gosh, it was so good. And you're still
But it's
what?
not liquidy now.
No,
it
now
comes
it's
out
cooked.
really, really good.
Yeah.
But y'all, the zucchini bread, and if you think, oh, that sounds disgusting, it tastes better than banana bread. Like, I thought it was a sweet bread, and didn't have anything sweet in it, right?
No.
I don't know how. I mean, I guess it has the monk fruit or whatever. But anyway, it was so good. Laundry. Roxana said laundry. Yes, do some stuff. There's if acts of service is your love language right now. We have plenty of time for some acts of service. You know, we could make maybe some yard work. And I know the kids might be home and you're working on jobs and you're like, how do we have time to do that? But maybe sometime in the evening. We have beautiful evenings right now in Texas. In the morning, it's nice. The weekends, we don't have church anymore. Like to leave to go to it.
Some couples that have younger kids, they're watching them together, and then they take turns where the husband will watch them for a few hours, and then the wife will watch them for a few hours, just to give the other one some break.
Yeah, maybe it's time to clean out that garage that you've been wanting to clean out. Maybe it's time to reorganize closets and throw some stuff out and just purge and just that feels so good. What?
She's all like, my husband's doing acts of service all around here. I'd be loving me some quarantine.
I love it. Maybe this is like some really interesting acts of service, but this is a different style. This is Corona style. Maybe your wife needs her hair colored. Maybe you could get that. I know all the hair ladies are saying no box color, but we might not have a choice coming up here soon. So maybe you help her watch a YouTube video and you help her color her roots.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe give her a pedicure or manicure. You don't have to, but
yeah, I know that's right.
No,
if I
you're not
even
going
try,
to.
I get the door slammed in my face.
Don't say that's not true. I told Richard I was going to cut. He was saying, man, my hair's growing so fast. I go, don't worry, I can cut it for you.
She goes, I used to cut hair, and I'm like, yes, a long time ago.
Maybe some acts of service is doing some crafts with the kids to give the other one a break, playing with the kids, or maybe helping with the schoolwork. Just find out right now. Again, it's communicate of
Grace,
what does
grace,
it look.
Grace.
Yes.
Communicate.
But what does the love language look like to your spouse right now?
Yeah.
You've got to be able to talk about
some heavy
what does
stuff
that look
sometimes.
like, and how are you feeling loved, and how are you not feeling loved right now. I appreciate that you've done a lot of acts of service and clean the garage and making all this food and stuff for me, and it helps me to be able to work too. And it's just kind of nice. We're learning things about each other that stepping up for each other. One of the other love language is physical touch, and y'all know I love to say physical touch. Usually if I'm standing up, I pull up my britches and say physical touch. My husband loves, and that's his number one. What?
No.
But y'all know I'm
You're
just
painting such a beautiful picture of me, because I know that's what they think. I'm sitting around with coveralls on and no shirt and no shoes, and be like, come on, it's time for some physical touch.
do some of this.
Time for you to speak my love language.
But physical touch is not just
Come on over and speak my language of love.
Oh God! But it's not just physical touch is not just sexual, and it might be sexual, but it's not usually just sexual. I mean, it could be cuddling right now, especially. I think some of us are hurting. Some of us are processing all this stuff different than others. Some of us are like, the sky is falling. The others like, it's fine. It's all gonna pass. We need to be really sensitive to what the other person is feeling and going through. Doesn't mean we have to get down in the trenches with them, but we need to at least acknowledge that and then help to boost them up, but maybe just cuddling and holding them at night before they go to sleep during all this is a good thing.
And we have to remember, we could either look for the worst in everything that's happening right now at home, with our spouse, with our kids, with our finance, with our jobs, with life. We can look for the worst, or we can look for the best. We have a choice. And I choose to look for the best. I look for the sunny days, not the rainy days. So, but man, you know what? That comes over time. And I know that if our marriage was not in a good place, it would be really hard, I think, to look for the sunny days until we did something to turn it around. And believe it or not, within a few days, you can turn your marriage around. Mm-hmm. But there's things that you have to put in place and do, and it just doesn't happen on its own. Otherwise, it would have already happened. We have to remember, the natural progression of marriage is to get worse, not to get better, not to stay the same, not to stay normal, to get worse. That's just the natural progression of marriage. If we don't do anything to to build our marriage up.
Yeah, yeah. And so this is the perfect time. This is the time that maybe y'all aren't, if you aren't in a good place, that you reach out to your spouse and have some physical touch. Maybe it's just holding their hand, or like I said, cuddling them at night, or maybe in the morning when you first wake up, just laying there and praying with them and holding them, and just reassuring them. Taking a walk in the afternoons and holding hands together. Sitting on the couch and watching a family movie together and sitting by each other, and maybe it's dancing in the kitchen. Maybe it's turning on little Dean Martin on Alexa, play some Dean Martin.
Quarantine style.
Our kids used to always, please stop. Our kids used to always laugh at us and make fun of us when they were little, because we loved to dance in the kitchen. And we would slow dance, or we would get some like romantic music on. And they know now Dean Martin, they're like, oh Lord, get a room. But that meant a lot for the kids to see us doing that. And I think it's good for the kids right now.
If I get any skinnier, I'm going to have to rent a shadow. I'm going to have to rent 2 of them.
I'm so proud of him. If y'all don't know,
Richard, I'm at 49 pounds right now.
Richard has lost a small child.
Not like literally like at the mall or something, like, hey, have you seen your nephew? No, not that, but weight-wise.
The equivalent of a small child, yes. Maybe a massage. Maybe they want a foot massage. Oh Lord, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, let me put my claws up here.
Maybe you have to do some acts of service and do a pedicure first. But just find out, what are some things.
Let me get the cheese grater and whittle at my feet some.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not always just physical touch. Isn't just the romantic, in case kids are watching, or the sexual part, but that part's important too, and that's the stress reliever. So that's something to definitely not let that go to the wayside. And then also we have, what's the last one? We did acts of service, quality time. Did we do acts of service? Yeah, acts of service, quality time, physical touch, gifts, and then words of affirmation.
Oh yeah.
If your love language is words of affirmation, this is a good time to be able to do that. To be able to.
Then this could be a very strenuous time also, because words build us up if we are words of affirmation. So if we are tearing each other down, or if the other spouse is tearing the other person down right now with their words, this could be a very hurtful time. So we have to realize that what we're doing. I've come to realize, after being married now, my second marriage for 17 years. And being 55 years old, that most of us come into
56.
Marriage, what did I say?
55.
Boy, you're just going to catch me every time.
Because you're finally...
Most of us come into marriage damaged. We've got some issues that we need to work on. And we usually take it out on our spouse. We don't want to talk about the stuff that we need to improve. We want to talk about the stuff they need to improve. And that's between them and God. I've learned that, man, when I back out and let God go and talk to Sherry, and vice versa, sometimes it's not easy, because when we get hurt, our emotions are real. Our feelings are real. And it's not like, oh, you hurt me, and it's okay, I'll get over it. Yeah, you do in time. But man, what tends to happen is we just continue to hurt and hurt and hurt and hurt. And Sherry gave a great analogy one time. She said, it's like a statue, and every time you hurt him, it's just a chip getting taken out of it, and eventually it falls, and you can't put it back up.
So if you're not giving them those words of affirmation, and you're not edifying them, it feels like a little chip when you say something negative to them, or you say something you don't realize. I know sometimes I'm not words of affirmation, but when Richard says something negative, because he's usually a really positive person, but he'll sometimes say negative stuff first, and then he figures it all out, and then he's fine. Well, then he's fine, he goes on, but I heard it, and so I'm just like, wah, wah, wah. Like it really crushes me. But so if your spouse's language is words of affirmation, right now it's really critical that we're saying things to build them up and not to tear them down. Maybe make them a card. We've got lots of crafts. The kids got lots of crafts right now, lots of construction paper and markers. Make them a card. Or you can order cards on Amazon. You can do that. Maybe write him a letter of how you feel. I love the letters that I have from Richard that he's written me over the years, here and there, that I haven't.
The sober ones.
Yeah, I have the ones that weren't when he was sober too, and Those
Oh
are
my gosh,
interesting
we
too.
read them to the class like once a year. You know, it's like, I don't know, we ought to do it on our wedding anniversary. But there's one that she wrote for me. It was like 3 pages long.
No, it was
Richard,
8 pages.
why
Front
I
and back.
can't marry you.
Front and back, 8 pages, front and back. Yeah, so those are back in our bad party days. And
And you read it and you don't even. I can't even see these words coming from her. You know. Anyways.
But we need to be
That's a
maybe
side
building each other up with, if that words is your words of affirmation is your love language. Maybe text them from the other room. You know, something that said something. Doesn't have to just be sexting or something sexual. Maybe something just loving. You know, write a letter to them, make a card for them. Maybe make a CD of some favorite music that reminds you of, that describes how you feel for them. You know, something like that. Just we've got to think
She's
outside.
a brick house. She's mighty.
Okay, stop it, Gangnam style, Corona style.
That's
Okay,
right.
so that's a funny way. Like, we're laughing about the whole brick house thing, but at our wedding, okay, when we got to the reception, Richard had told the band, unbeknownst to me, instead of walking in and then introducing us and everything to the music that I thought it was going to be, he had them play
Brick House.
And so that's
Yeah.
the song that I walked into my reception with everyone in my family and his family. That just kind of gives you a little backstory of how our life was BC.
That's right.
So just, you
Or
know.
BH.
Or what?
BH.
What's BH?
Brick house.
Or brick house. So we just wanted to say, you know, Corona style love languages. It's going to have to be a little more creative. Maybe it looks a little different right now, but just talk to your spouse. If you don't remember what your love language is, take the quiz again.
Absolutely.
Sometimes your quiz, your language might change a little bit, especially right now with a different season of life. I know that for a long time mine was acts of service when the kids were little, but I feel like more of it's quality time now, because he does a lot of acts of service now, and I don't need as many things done with it without the kids being home.
That little Chica Bells is our dog.
Yeah, you hear Chica. So, so just be creative. Let's
Hey,
be
Chica.
really mindful of what our spouse's love language is and how we can be creative with Corona. And
Hello.
there's Chica. Chica's my love language. Yes, she is. So we love you guys. We just wanted to get on because we're about to eat some dinner, cook some dinner. And what do you say? We got married in Vegas. Elvis walked Linda down the aisle.
Man,
Wow.
come
yeah,
on.
So you know, it was a different time in your life too.
Man,
so
we were
got
in
some
Vegas
backstories.
and Dean Martin was hitting on Sherry. I'm gonna punch fake Dean Martin in the
I was gonna say, you
freaking
better say
fake
fake
nose.
Dean Martin, because otherwise they'll be like, how old is she? Real Dean Martin? Yeah, we know. We went to Las Vegas on our honeymoon because we won it on a radio show 2 weeks before the wedding because we didn't have any money for a honeymoon, so we got to go to Vegas.
So
we know.
we didn't, not that time, but a different time we went back and we went to go see the Rat Pack. And the Dean Martin impersonator, imposter, fake, was just hitting on Sherry. And we were on a cruise and we were about to disembark and the next day, and we were sitting with our table. And we said, where's everybody going after this? And the couple sitting next to us goes, we're going to Vegas. And Sherry goes, oh my gosh, you've got to go see the Rat Pack. And I said, and if you do, I said, do me a favor, punch Dean Martin in the stomach and tell him it's from Richard. And then Sherry, without missing a beat, goes, and tell him Sherry says hi. Oh my gosh. And then they sent a picture with them. They actually went to go see the Rat Pack.
Yeah,
You know.
they did.
It was funny.
So anyways, guys, we know you're probably cooking dinner, eating dinner, but we just wanted to say, like, just be mindful of some stuff. We just thought we can't just make regular videos right now. Like, we need to talk about stuff that's relevant to what we're going through. So love languages, Corona style, and we will see you guys probably again this weekend because
guys,
we got plenty of time.
Just remember, if we can do it, you can do it too. There was a time and we can't stop talking about it because it's our testimony, it's truth. We were about to get divorced in about year 7 or 8. But we stuck with it and we started working through our issues. And as we did, we were trying to work our way out of our marriage because somebody said, well, if you're going to get divorced, work your way out. Do everything you can to
They said
work your way out.
If you're thinking about getting
Right.
divorced, then work your way out of it. That means you did everything possible. So if you decide one day that you get divorced, you can tell your kids, you know what? We did the love languages. We did the communication. We did conflict resolution. We learned our Enneagram type. We went to church. We prayed. We did everything.
And guess what?
Everything that you can do.
As we started to do that, it started to turn our marriage around.
Yeah.
And we started to see that God was truly the center and we had really taken him out of our marriage. and we were trying to do it on our own, with our own emotions and our own feelings.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
We love you
love
guys.
y'all.
See ya.
And we'll see you
And
soon.
Chica says, peace out.
Chica says, I will cry for you.